have been rebuilding Newcrest, the boring old base game world with nothing in it, into a beautiful fairy world with whimsical, fairy-inspired lots in The Sims 4. Since we are officially getting fairies in The Sims 4, this is the section of the neighborhood we've been working on. So far, we have a couple shops and a pool lot, and I think I want to finish this part off completely as all commercial lot. So for the next one here, I was thinking we could build a fairy nightclub. But before we do, I just wanted to let you guys know that there is a massive sale on Sims packs right now. Like, some of them are up to 85% off, and I know a lot of people wait for Sims packs to go on sale, understandably. So if you do decide to get any Sims packs this summer, you can consider supporting my channel by using my code sydneymacoretta at checkout on the EA app or on thesims.com, and I'll earn a small commission on that purchase. This summer sale is on until July 10th. So looking at the other lots so far, we kind of have this theme where some of the builds here are shaped like other objects, like the teapot shop and the mushroom shop. So this time I want to try and make this lot shaped like either a birdhouse or a bird cage. Similar to the teapot idea, there are tons of like fairy inspired birdhouses out there, and again, I just find these so cute and pretty. I feel like this would be a fun little DIY project or something. So I was thinking our nightclub could maybe be called the Cage. If you guys have any better ideas, let me know. First thing I'm gonna do is build a foundation, because we're gonna have to have the bottom base of the birdhouse. So we're just gonna have to build a couple of rooms like this, just leading up to the actual build. So it'll look like that. And then the idea here is that the rest of it will sit on top. So if I add another flooring piece up here, then that will be our base for where we can build it. And we have 2 stories to play with, since the maximum height is 4 floors in The Sims 4. And I also want to quickly make sure I can have stairs in those rooms, like for the bottom part leading up, because we had ladders in the mushroom bubble bar. Like, the way that you get up there is by using a ladder, and I just kind of feel bad for our Sims, even though it would be kind of funny seeing them navigate after leaving the bubble slash mushroom bar. We'll give them stairs in this one, so just making sure that I'm gonna be able to get our Sims up there. And there we go. So now we've got our stairs leading up. I tried to take up as little room as possible so I could keep these narrow, and I changed these to the tallest wall height. So this is gonna be way up there, overlooking the rest of this neighborhood. Probably a bad thing, considering these walls are gonna be all glass. Everyone's gonna see what's going on, but whatever, it's fine. I'm gonna extend this top part out a bit because we're gonna start to build our bird cage. This is the vibe we're going for when I say fairy bird cage. This is the shape that I want too, just a rounded top. So let's start out by building a big octagonal room. I personally find building these really tricky when you have to roof them in The Sims 4, so I'm just gonna make sure the shape is right with the octagonal roofing before copying and pasting. Okay, we should be good. So now we can just grab hold of this and build it up, and I'll add my octagonal roofing right on top. So right now, this is what we got. We need to go in and add some glass roofing. There are a few options. We could use the base game ones, but I was actually thinking about the one from the greenhouse kit. I think that one looks good, and then we can take hold of this and curve it out, and then I'm just gonna raise it up a little as well. Oh, you can already see it coming to life. This is going to be at the top of our bird cage. Let's add some trim up there just to make it look a little fancy. But then I also wanted to include some doors, and I mean doors to like the bird cage. So I'm just gonna draw some walls like this. I think I'll also use my flooring tool just to build out a little more of a platform. This way we could have a little bit of a terrace or a balcony. And then I think I'll draw a wall right here so we can delete this. That way it looks a little bit more like those walls are actually our doors. And then we can put another door right in there. I'm just gonna add this fencing from Get Together going around the outside. And by the way, I have seen requests for a dark fairy slash like goblin, like run down sort of nightclub idea. And I definitely do want to do that still. But I'm thinking this commercial area up here, this is gonna be like the nice side of town. This is where the nice fairies hang out. They go to the pool, they go to the tea shop. I still want to build more of like a downtown area in this world. And maybe that can be where the more dark, more like mischievous, troublemaking fairies can hang out. I'm currently going in and using these glass windows. A lot of these are from base game. There's this one that's a little bigger though that I'm using from Businesses and Hobbies. So for now, I'm just gonna make the entire thing all glass all the way around. We can add in that door that I was talking about. I think we could use this one from My Wedding Stories, but also this one might be kind of cool too, like this castle estate one. Maybe we'll keep this for now, and then I'm going to add in the rest of the windows. I'm gonna add some more trim. I'm adding that around the bottom and the top floor. We still need to fill in our roof trim, and I think just to sort of polish off these walls here, I'm gonna take this fence, I'm gonna make sure the grid is on, and then I'm just gonna trace the top of those walls. It would probably also look a little bit better with some columns, so I'm using these ones from Business businesses and hobbies. Oh, and that trim can go on these walls too. We need a door at the base, and I think I want to keep this all wood. You can barely see the wallpaper on like these floors anyway, so I'm just gonna use this one from Horse Ranch. We'll use Castle Estate flooring out here. I use this a lot on the other build, so we can keep that consistent, but then I think I might switch it up. On the outside here, we can also use Journey to Batu. Oh, this is looking good so far. I need a little point on the top of my roof though, like this from Vampires. This is a vent? I had no idea. Let me just stick that right on the top. There we go. Oh, this shell looks good. I love it so far. I don't care that the rest of the world can see everything going on in this nightclub. That's why this is the good one. Maybe we should add in some corbels. I'm gonna size these up. These ones are from Seasons. This way it'll look even more like the birdhouse idea. These are gonna look like they're actually holding up the rest of the build. Yeah, that makes more sense. And then we could add lanterns underneath too. Let's do these ones from Paranormal. I'll size them up and I'll have them hanging on either side of the corbels. Yes, so they're hanging down at the bottom like that. I wonder how it would look if we added those fairy sculptures. Like these ones, I use these at the entry of the pool that we built in my last video, except this time I want to size them up and make it look like these are landing on like the perch of the birdcage. And they can just sort of face the entry like this. I'll do 2 of them. How cute. And now all we really have to do is landscaping. So while we do that, let's catch up on things that have been released since my last video about the new Sims 4 expansion pack. Enchanted by Nature is looking really good, I'm not gonna lie. I saw the build stuff. If you missed it, The Sims released like teasers on Twitter. Like, okay, I'm sorry, we need to look at this. Look at the fences, sinks, all of this is fairy inspired. The beds, it's all so beautiful. Peep this sink, by the way. Did anyone notice this? This is called Pedal Dance Sink, and there's this fairy like playing around in the sink. So I have a feeling fairies are going to be interacting with other items in different ways. Like, why else is that fairy playing in the sink? We've got these curtains, are super pretty. The windows and the doors, look at this. Look at those bookshelves. The wallpaper swatch options on this too are really nice. I'm wondering if these are clutter pieces or if they're actually built into the bookshelves. We've got some more of the house plants. We also have the nature press, I think is a new flower pressing skill. And of course, the tiny little fairy home. No, these freezer bunnies have wings on them. Oh, I need to sew some wings onto my freezer bunny in the back. Are you kidding? Maybe I can get them little dog ones, like little dog ones that can wrap around my freezer bunny, like a costume. Like, it just looks so good. Can't really say the same about the Create a Sim stuff though, I'm not gonna lie. I was a little unimpressed with the cast items in this new pack. I'll link these below if you want to check them out on The Sims Twitter, but like, it'll just basically show you some of the new traits, some of the new aspirations, the new fairy occult, and you can paint the wings, which is really cool. Like how you can paint custom tattoos now, how you can paint like on the fur of cats and dogs. You can also apply the painting tool onto the wings. So I'm sure players are gonna get really creative with that. I'm thinking like leaf stamps for nature fairies and stuff. There's also a ton of different wing options, it seems. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on all of that, of course. I'm loving using this series as well to just kind of catch up on little updates for the fairy pack. I never really make full dedicated videos to trailers or anything like that. It's not really my style on this channel, I guess. But your girl does love to speculate and gossip, so I am having fun doing that in our little fairy series. The final thing I'm doing outside before going in is adding fairy lights on some of the corners. Fairy lights are just a given in this world. These ones are from Businesses and Hobbies. Also from this pack, I'm adding this statue. I was intrigued by the tattoos because on the back we actually have like the birds. She also has the vines on her and there's a moth tattoo. This is from the last pack. Like, I feel like the hints were right there. I think I'll also just add a couple tables for seating outside. And with all of the landscaping complete, this is what our birdhouse slash birdcage nightclub is looking like. It turned out so pretty. Look at it in different lighting as well. Like, here it is in the evening, and then at night I made sure it was super lit up on the outside with all of those fairy lights. We also have the Realm of Magic orbs at the bottom, which I've been carrying around this entire neighborhood, same as the mushrooms. Like, I feel like this is just going to be the mushroom neighborhood, and we'll give those a bit of a rest when we move on to the next neighborhood. But I wanted to use some of those get to work ones a little bit because I know in live mode they light up. I also added some fountains going in our pond outside. I feel like it totally fits with the rest of the neighborhood too. I'm pretty happy with it so far. So let's go inside. Let's start to build a layout. So I actually deleted these windows in the back here because I knew we were gonna need bathrooms and I want to have a few few of them. In a nightclub, the bathroom can be a busy place. So let's try and optimize our space here. We're just gonna have toilets and sinks. So like this should fit for 4 bathrooms. We also need stairs going up to the 2nd floor. And this is where like everything is gonna be, like the dance floor, the DJ. We'll have a bar up here too. So I'm gonna take my stairs again and I'm gonna curve them like this. And we'll have them right next to the other stairs. So they'll be leading up. They'll just be off to the corner like this. And then we can leave this entire floor open upstairs. The railings that I'm using are from Horse Ranch. I like that they just have that natural look, perfect for fairies. And then for the bathrooms, I've just been using these doors lately. They just have like this toilet symbol on them and I feel like they're the gender neutral option. So these are our bathroom doors. I've already set some of my lighting, so it's like pink and purple. And then for wallpaper, I do want it to be dark in here, but I still don't want to lose that like nice fairy vibe. So okay, Jungle Adventure has this wallpaper. It's this dark stone wallpaper, but when you move, sometimes you can catch the light and it'll look all glowy. Like it looks like I used the Touch of Starlight item on there, but I didn't. Come to think of it, we have not used it at all yet. That is really something. But I do like this. There's also another swatch like that. So I'm gonna keep with that. I'm also gonna add it to the wallpaper in the stairwells. And then for flooring, we could keep with stone, but then for our bathrooms, Get Together has this, and the mosaic like in the tile kind of forms this butterfly shape. So that can be our flooring for the bathrooms. And then we can just use some panel like that for the wallpaper. Maybe we can get these bathrooms out of the way. I'm just gonna push the toilet into the corner for the diagonal ones. That way we should be able to squeeze a sink. We'll just kind of like push these together to make sure they're functional. Then we'll just add a mirror there, some toilet paper. And then you know how in some bathrooms there are like posters or like advertisements? What if on the back of the door we did a Tooth Fairy advertisement? There's 2 different ones. The Tooth Fairy comes with Growing Together, and it's just kind of funny because it's like, hey, remember me? Or like, hire me for your services. I actually think in this one in the back we could probably fit a shower. Absolutely not something you would find in a nightclub probably ever, but I like to add them on my commercial lots in The Sims sometimes. There is nothing worse than having a stinky sim and having to go home because you have the green cloud following you. And like the bathrooms in this one can be fancier, like for the more rundown, dark goblin fairy vibe. I'm excited to use some of the wooden toilets. We can make it like a swamp sort of aesthetic. For lighting in here, we can use the Blooming Rooms light with the plant hanging down, and we'll just add some fairy lights in here. Why not? Oh, and you know what? Also a trash can, and probably also some hand towels from Get to Work. Okay, bathrooms are complete. We've got that out of the way. Now let's go and work on this room. I don't think we're gonna have too much room for a dance floor, so I'm thinking we add a bar on this floor. Oh, this is a super pretty bar from Discover University. I always love the little details up top, and they kind of look like fairy wings. Maybe a little bit. Let's use bar stools from Realm of Magic. I think we have to brighten this up a tiny bit, so I'm gonna add some chandeliers. These ones are from Businesses and Hobbies. I think I'm gonna add a pink disco ball in here too. I'm not gonna be able to add it upstairs just because technically our roofing, like we don't have a ceiling to put it on, but how gorgeous is that lighting at night? Ooh, I can't wait for that floor. Oh, Party Essentials has the butterfly. I'll add that right here. This is tricky because I don't want to block any of the doors. I do want to add seating though. We could use the seating from Jungle Adventure actually. I feel like I'm stretching so hard, but now I see fairies everywhere. I'm gonna try and make space for a couple tables. Oh, actually the My Wedding Stories chairs with the plants on the back could be pretty in here. Just again, making sure I'm not blocking any pathways to any of the bathrooms. We are for sure gonna need speakers in this one, so I'll add a few. And I mean, I guess we could stick a dance floor right here, just a small one. It's a nightclub. People tend to dance wherever they want, even if it is right behind the bar. And I'm just adding a few more plants around, being careful not to block anything. Okay, so this is floor 1 of our fairy nightclub. They've got the bar, they've got the speakers, we have a dance floor, bathrooms and everything over here as well. I just went in and changed the color of the lighting for the bathrooms too, so that it matches a little bit better. And now let's go do the final room upstairs. The first thing I think I want to do is light up all of these walls with the fairy lights from Businesses and Hobbies, like the same ones we used outside, because again, we don't have the ceiling light option up here, but I think doing this is going to provide enough light. I'm actually just going to go along the top too, because it's still looking a little too dark in here. In real life, obviously that makes sense, but for gameplay, if it's too dark in a build, sometimes it can be kind of frustrating. And what I was also kind of hoping to do was build some booths. So what I'm going to do is build a shape like this, and we're going to raise this part up on a platform. So we'll have the room in the back like this. I'm going to raise it up by 1 tick so we don't need stairs, and then we can erase the walls that we just made. I've got some glitching with my trim, so hopefully I can just add that back. Perfect. And then I want to use walls panels to separate our booths. So this way we can add seating in there with a little bit of privacy. We're gonna add some platform paint. I'm gonna use the Blooming Rooms curtains back here, and then I think I'm also gonna raise them up and I'll have them connecting onto the posts like this. Maybe in the middle so there's not just like one lonely chair. I can add a statue and a trellis in there, although it would be kind of cute if there was just like a wallflower sim kind of just hanging out in there. Maybe they can have their own little poof and the statue can keep them company. But then for seating in the back, I was thinking dream home decorator, and then we could have a couple chairs on these sides as well. Let me test this actually. I have not sent my sim to test anything, which by the way, how cute and also cool is this sim? Wolfgang Wilder. He's a werewolf and aspiring best-selling author. I don't know where he came from. It's just a random townie I moved in, but like how can you not love him? This mailbox keeps spawning, which is annoying. We don't actually need it. It won't be a residential lot, but let's first make sure he can make it all the way upstairs. I have been putting these on the gallery, so I want to make sure that they work. All of the other ones that I've built already are on the gallery as well. I'll put my gallery ID on screen so you guys know where to find it. And he's going up these stairs. Ooh, the disco ball. Okay, he's made it. Can we sit over here? Yeah, okay. Everything so far should work. You just sit there, King. I'll do the rest. I think I'm gonna change this up to wood. We'll bring another bar upstairs and I'll use the same chairs from Realm of Magic. And I want a big dance floor up here. I don't know which one. Oh, the middle has to be in the center of the glass, obviously. This one's from my wedding stories. There are some really pretty swatches in here. I like this one specifically for this build, but I've also always liked the ones that can see it down below. Although we have our disco ball right there, so maybe we don't use this one. It makes it look so colorful though. That's okay. We'll have the disco ball hanging there. I love that once it hits a certain time at night, the shadow from the roofing will just line up in the middle. I'm also gonna add a DJ booth, but I was thinking about raising these curtains up and putting them on the sides just to make this look a little bit more whimsical. I think on these tables, I'm also gonna add that game from Lovestruck, the party game. And you know what? Also from Lovestruck, we should add the costume trunk. Why not? I'll add it somewhere like in the corner. This way, if there's a themed night, maybe Sims can dress up. Oh, this item could be cute here from my wedding stories. And then we can put one of the fountains on top or the champagne. We for sure need champagne bottles in this kind of fancy establishment. This is another one too where I wouldn't mind coming back and adding some fairy drinks or like anything, any of the elixirs they can make. I feel like it would be cool to have tables full of those. So I guess for now we can just add the potions from Realm of Magic. I'll just fill up this table. This one can have different potions too. And there we have the rest of our fairy nightclub. I really want to see it from the front. Like, how cool is that? Again, kind of unfortunate that everyone around can see in, but I think it just looks so pretty with all the glass. Again, up here we've got the DJ, the dance floors, tons of space for just hanging out. Those Lovestruck games, we have champagne, we have potions. Here it is in live mode in the daytime. I'm actually just going to evict our townie for now. I want to set this to a proper nightclub so we can test it out, but look at this section. We're almost complete. We have one more lot to go before moving on to this one. And I am planning on keeping it all fairies, by the way. We had an idea to change it up to different occults, but we're gonna keep it all fairies. And we will be building this when the new pack comes out too. So setting our lot type over to nightclub, and I'll move my sim back into this lot so I can send him to the nightclub at night. Look at this place. Oh, it's so beautiful. My sim is now visiting here as a guest, and of course, the first in line, we have Bella and Mortimer Goth. This is also the final test, I guess, to make sure this is truly working. So all the way up we go. We've got our bartenders. I cannot wait to see this place overrun with fairies. We could even open this as a business so that only occults could visit here, and then also hire different fairies to tend the bar and to be the DJ. I love it. This place is so fun. So this has been us building a fairy nightclub in The Sims 4. Let me know what you want to see built in the final commercial lot in this uptown area. And if you guys like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.